Hello, my name is Brandy Weaver. I'm the coordinating teacher for Darlington County First Steps Countdown to Kindergarten program that we do every summer here in Darlington County. Today, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what we do in this program and kind of break it down by visits. Our program consists of a 6-week program where we come into the home or we can do virtually depending on the COVID restrictions. We do a 6-week program where we work with a child that will be in a kindergarten classroom the following summer. The purpose of the program is to help the children get acquainted with their teacher, let the parents become more acquainted with the teacher, and get them more familiar with the things that they will be doing while they are in the kindergarten classroom. The cool thing is they get to have everything that they use during these visits. So these kids get a lot of good materials to use at home. It's broken down into a very good, thorough program that hits every aspect of the kindergarten classroom. The first visit is social emotional. And what we do when this first visit was social emotional is try to get to know each other, just like the kindergarten teacher and the student would whenever they start the school year off. We start off with this book, Look Out Kindergarten, Here I Come. And the teacher reads this book to the child and talks a lot about the things that the child will see whenever they end up going to their kindergarten classroom, because this book pretty much shows everything that's in a standard kindergarten room. Gives the child a feel of what's going on. Of course, whenever we read this book, we talk about different things like text features, illustrations, use different words from the text. The child doesn't really realize we're doing a lesson with them, but we are. We're getting them ready for all of those things that they've got to learn with their ELA standards. During this visit, usually I go over with my parents some of the ELA standards, not all of them, but I do go over some just so they can understand that kindergarten's not the playtime that it used to be. Kindergarten is a very serious year where it's very critical for a child to learn the standards that the state has set for teachers to teach 5-year-olds. Once we read this story and we talk about the classroom, we kind of talk about our feelings a little bit, like, how you feel about going to school, and if they have any previous school experience, we can talk about that. A lot of times these children don't because they are so young. I talk to them about my classroom experience, my feelings about the classroom when I was a child long ago, and my feelings now every year as I come back to school. We also use what's called a me box. It's just a simple shoebox that we gather together, and before I come, I talk to the parents about how I'm going to bring a me box, and if you can you get some things together about your child so that they can share things about themselves with me in their me box. Real simple things that you can go around the house and find. I usually tell them, like, to show me some pictures of your family, maybe your favorite book. My favorite book is The Napping House by far. Some things that you like maybe candies, food you like to eat. You can cut pictures out of magazines. Some of the things that you really like in life, like maybe the music you like, sports you like, just anything that kind of tells me a little bit about you, just like my things in my me box tell the child things about me. And that's just a good opener for the child to feel more comfortable, and the parent as well, because it's your first visit. Most of the time, the parents are going to sit right there at the first visit because they want to see what this program's all about. So we talk to each other about things like that. While I am there, there are forms that we give to the parents. We try to set up a schedule at the first visit and use this family commitment form and just kind of lay out a schedule. Things happen, dates have to change. It's not set in stone, but this is just an agreement that you can go over with the parents to help them understand that this is a 6-week program. And each time we go on a visit, we have a record that we keep, certain notes that we keep about the visit as well. There are pre and post surveys that the teacher does with the parent, questions that we ask, just so that you can see how the parent felt about things at the beginning, and hopefully by the end of the program, how much more reassured they feel about the kindergarten experience after going through this program with you. A lot of times at this particular visit, on this first visit, It's a lot of discussion. It's a lot of talking because you're getting to know each other. But I do like to ask the children if we don't have time before I leave. I tell them to do it while I'm gone before I come back the next week, which they already know what day and time I'm coming. They receive paper, pack of construction paper, glue sticks, scissors, and crayons, flesh colored and primary colors. And I tell them to take these art supplies, make a picture of themselves. Tell me something else about them the next time I come. Maybe they'll think of something that they forgot to tell me, something special about them. Maybe they want to make a picture of their family so that they can tell me who all's in their family. Again, we go over the forms. We talk about things that need to be done for the next week. The parents as well get a handout at each visit that gives them activities that they can do for the week. And it's some things that are just so super simple that you just wouldn't even think of. But once you read it, you're like, oh, yeah, I could easily do that with my child. So the parent gets that weekly handout as well. Okay, that's visit 1. Next week, we already have it set up when we're coming so that the parent knows, we don't surprise them. Next visit we come, we start detailing like a subject area. Visit 2 is an ELA visit. And this is where you will address ELA standards and materials that the children can use for the classroom as well as at home. The first thing that we do is the book that they're probably familiar with, Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, which is a book about the letters of the alphabet. We read the book together. We talk about it. The children love it. Depending on Wi-Fi access, whether I'm Zooming or whatever, there is a song that goes along with Chicka Chicka Boom Boom that my classroom kids love, so I usually try to incorporate that into my lesson as well. Then the children also get a box of letter tiles. We used to do magnetic letters, and sometimes I will still take my cookie sheets with magnetic letters on them because the children do like to manipulate those magnetic letters. You can find those at the Dollar Tree. But the Countdown to Kindergarten kit now has a set of letter tiles. They are awesome. Capital and lowercase letters that I sit down with the child and we talk about different things. Like, do you know how to spell your name? Do you know how to spell your last name, your first name? Do you know how to spell mom? Do you know how to spell dad? How can we spell your sister's name? What's something else that you may know how to spell? I'm already trying to see what kind of prior knowledge that they have as a teacher of what vocabulary they have been exposed to. But I'm also checking to see high frequency words, like can they already spell some of those words that they need to learn how to spell and read by the time they leave kindergarten. That just lets me know where they are. So these tiles are absolutely great. Again, we can use the paper. We can use the crayons. We can write. After we spell it out the tiles, we can write it, whatever the word is, up under it. Again, we can talk about specific standards with the parent that are ELA standards. And I usually do express to them, I taught kindergarten for 25 years. Kindergarten changed a lot over those years. In the beginning, it was a lot of play. We had some standards, but nothing like there is now. Now it's very structured. So we go over the different things that their child is going to need to know. Often I will go ahead and show a parent the report card that our kindergarten children will be asked to do throughout the course of the year. Now, I don't do this to overwhelm them. I just do this so that they can see that getting ahead of the game during the summer and starting these different little tasks with them will put their child at so much of an advantage to know what to do whenever the school year starts. Again, like I said with the other book, this time I go into a little bit more detail with this text about text features, the author, the illustrator, the title page. Do you read from this side to this side? We follow along and model with our fingers. It's a lot more intense with this particular lesson with the ELA standards because that's what this lesson is based on. I talked to the parents also about the importance of lap reading. That's something that has really not probably been used as much in the past few years because of all the technology that we have. I mean, let's face it. A lot of times kids can get on the iPads and they can read a text just by looking at pictures. It's not the same as taking a book with your child and sitting down and turning the pages. It is very, very important that children see adults modeling that reading. And you would be surprised at how many parents just, I just really didn't even think about that. So on this visit, we do talk about the importance of lap reading and how they can sit down and just take something simple and read it with their child and just show them the progression between left and right, front and back, how they go from one side to the other, the top line, the next line, the bottom line. We leave all of these materials at each visit for the children. These are not things that I'm going to keep. Now, I have, as a teacher, a kit that I can use. Again, if I'm doing it virtually, I need my own things to show them. But we leave these materials with the children. They come in a big, clear book bag that we take apart. And then by the end of the 6 weeks, they have everything to put in the book bag to keep for themselves. So when school starts, they already have a book bag. They have these materials that they can keep at home. They're not expected to take them to school to their teacher. This is for them to use themselves. But children get so excited when they start school and, oh, I have some of those. Oh, I have that book. You brought me that to my house. They have a sense of belonging. They feel so much more comfortable. And again, we leave an activity sheet with the parent. Again, this one focusing on ELA. So it gives them other books that can be used to help with alphabet skills. Talking about capital and lowercase letters, how you can use these letter tiles. Different other websites that you can go to on the internet to reinforce the skills that you go over with these lessons. Every lesson builds upon something. We're just building each time what the children need to know. So visit 1, social emotional. They get to know me, I get to know them. We talk about what a kindergarten classroom is going to look like and just talk about our feelings. Second visit, ELA. We use the Chicka Chicka Boom Boom book. We use our letter tiles. We sit down, we talk about the letters of the alphabet, difference in capital and lowercase, and we talk about text features in the story. Now, the next visit will focus on math. Normally, each visit does have a book that goes with it, which I think is a neat thing. That way they get to have these books, but they also get something to go with it, like the letter tiles. So the next visit that we do with math, the children will get a book and a floor puzzle, and we'll talk more about that in our next video session. I hope that this is helpful for anyone watching this video. If you have any more questions about any of the things that are in this video, please reach out to your local Darlington County First Steps office, and they can send the questions you have to me, or I'm sure someone there can answer them for you. This is a great, great program. We have been doing this program for over 20 years in Darlington County, and I feel very blessed to have been a part of it. I have reached a lot of children and a lot of parents, and the relationships that I have made have helped me immensely as a classroom teacher. The children feel comfortable with me. The parents feel comfortable with me. Many times I end up having the siblings. So we already have that relationship and that connection. So the parents are so supportive, and you support them. You work together as a team. Just all around, it just works out to be just a great program. And it's not something that's very intense. It's fun. Once a week, I come to you. We do a little lesson. I bring you a treat. You get to keep it. At the end of the summer, you got this nice book bag of stuff that you get to have. So it's good for everybody involved. Next week, again, we'll talk about what we do for our visits 3 and 4, which will be math and science. Thank you for joining me today.